ready for an experience like no other from the creators of the Cheap Seats podcast. This is FF PodSquad. We're bringing you fantasy football like never before. This is fantasy for fans by fans, featuring the soon-to-be famous PodSquad sound-off. Now, here's your tour guide for this fantasy adventure, the fantasy guru himself, the big man, Aaron Spillman.
What is up, guys? Glad to be here. Glad you can be with me. This is FF PodSquad. I am your host, the big man, Aaron Spillman, and I am super excited to be here. This is episode 1. Today is Wednesday, August 27th, and this is the beginning of a new era, guys. Like I said, super excited to be here. Before we get the show rolling, I want to take a minute to say thanks to a few people, and then we'll introduce the guest host and we'll get going on the show. So without further ado, first I want to say thanks to Fatty Jared Bates. You played a big integral part in making this show happen. The 216 network, glad to be a part of it, guys. And I want to thank you guys mainly. I mean, you guys, you're going to see, guys, you're the start of the show. Without you guys, there is no show. So you guys I need fan participation, guys. So just bring it on in. So let's go ahead and get started, and let me bring in my special guest co-host. You know him as the Juice, but not anymore, guys. He is my former co-host. He is the co-creator of this show, the co-creator of the Cheap Seats podcast. He is TikTok famous. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the man, the myth, Mr. Bluegrass Beard himself, Dustin Neese.
What is going on, brother?
What's up, buddy? Back at it again, man. Back at it again. Glad you could be here, brother. I'm glad you've been helping me out with this shit too.
I wouldn't have missed it for the world. I was sitting there thinking the other night, I was like, man, if he'd asked anybody else to do the first one, I'd have probably been pretty pissed.
Oh yeah. I don't before we get started and stuff on the show, I look like I lost him, but anyway, before we get started with Dustin doing the show, I want to go ahead and address the rumors that were circling around, and I want to tell you guys that there is no rift between me and Dustin. We did not end the show because we had a rift. 2 reasons why the show ended. One, the Cheap Seats podcast ended because just life, our schedule got in the way. We don't get paid to do the stuff, so life just got in the way with us. So I don't know much else to tell you guys. And the second thing is we decided that, it was just too much to run an all sports show. There's so much research, so much time and energy that goes into one show that we decided to do something different. We both, play fantasy football, so our research and fantasy is, goes hand in hand with this show. So that's why we decided to go this route. Dustin, I was just telling the viewers and everything. I'm not sure if I told you about it, but there have been rumors flying around that there had been a rift between you and I, and that's why we ended the Cheap Seats podcast. totally not true, which I just addressed it. But we're going to get on with the show, though. Like I said, I'm happy to have you here. And, another big thank you definitely goes out to you, my man. Without you, this wouldn't be possible.
No, you're the brains of this operation, bro. I just show up.
No, you're the talent. You're all the talent, brother.
I don't know about all that.
All right, so let's get into the show, guys, and we'll figure out the way to get you guys in here soon. Anyways, let's get into Fantasy 4-Pack.
Let's do it.
All right, so Fantasy 4-Pack, I'm going to give you 4 questions, fantasy related. This week it ain't going to be nothing tough. Just going to be some stuff, it's not even the season yet. We're still a week away from NFL action. So we're just going to call this, our starter pack here. So, number 1, what is one piece of advice you would give to first-time fantasy players?
Oh, I just go straight into it.
Yeah, just go right into it.
Oh, now you got to walk me through this. First-time fantasy. So the biggest thing that I see with first-time fantasy players is, so most of the time, they're football fans. They know football. They watch football every week.
Right.
And of course, in the NFL, the quarterback is the most crucial position on the field.
Exactly.
So you see quarterbacks going early with newbies, and that would be the first thing I would say. Just because it's the most important position on the field, it's not necessarily the most important position in fantasy. Load up on wide receivers, load up on running back. There's a few, we'll get into it as we go, about, positional advantages and when to go there. But, you should never take a quarterback in the first round unless your league specifically up scorings for those positions. You should not. That would be the first thing. Get that out of your brain for fantasy.
Right. Yeah. I think that's pretty solid advice. I think if I could just give, one piece of advice is know your league. I mean, if you know the format of your league and know the scoring settings, know your roster setup, the easier it'll be for you to draft. But with that in mind, guys, we just lost Dustin, Mr. Bluegrass Beard again, and he's back. He keeps on we keep on losing you, buddy. Living out there in the sticks.
My stupid phone keeps ringing.
Oh, that's what it is. Tell him we'll call you back. But anyways, I just told him what I thought about it and stuff, knowing your league, knowing your roles and everything. And that's pretty much it. If you know the rules, it's a lot easier to do your draft. Would you not agree?
Absolutely, yes.
All right, well, let's get into question number 2 here then, bud.
What's up? What you got?
What is one cool memory you've had from fantasy football? Besides winning a championship, obviously.
Probably, I would say that the coolest part of fantasy is not kind of the memories, but kind of the people that you meet. Honestly, me and you wouldn't even be friends if it wouldn't be for fantasy football.
Right. I get that.
We started working together, and that was
fantasy football brought us together.
Yeah, that was how the conversation got started.
Yeah. That's true.
I would say the friendships that I've made bridging it with fantasy football, that would be one of the coolest memories I've had. Of course, teaching my younger brother how to play.
Right.
That's a big memory that I have with fantasy football. I do remember specifically one year I played in this league, and I think it was going into Monday night. I was down like 17 points with a kicker.
Oh,
Coming
and
back from
probably
that and actually
was,
winning that
was
matchup.
that
Really
was
cool.
that kicker? Did that cat? Excuse me. Did that kicker happen to be Justin Tucker? By the way.
No, I don't think it was. I think going
Okay.
into Monday night, I don't remember who the kicker was, but going into Monday night, I thought there is absolutely no way I can win this. Like this is over. And
That
I
is pretty
don't
cool. They're
remember.
coming
It
back.
wasn't Tucker. It wasn't Buckner. It wasn't uh, who was the kicker for the Raiders? Carlson. He scored a
Yeah.
lot there one year, like he was burning it
Yeah.
up. The kicker from the Patriots one year was burning it up. It wasn't one of those guys that was tearing it up every week. Like it was a stupid, like this guy just went off.
Okay.
Alvin
I
Kamara
mean, you
going
get
off
that.
for 40 last year. I had him.
Yeah.
That brought me back. Things like that, but it's mainly about the relationships for me.
Yeah. I agree with you. I think like you said, you and I became really good friends because of fantasy football. There's a few other friends of mine that because of fantasy football, and actually, uh, they'll be on the show and future episodes.
Right.
So yeah, fantasy has definitely brought people together, and I'm always looking to bring new people into the fantasy community. It's a lot funner than what people think.
My wife played
People.
one year. That was a really cool year for me.
Yeah, I'm trying to convince my wife to play. If she can play, I really think she would enjoy it. She's not really a football fan in general, but I think she would enjoy it as long as she would, and this would be something where if she listened to me because she don't listen to me ever and stuff. But if she listened to me in fantasy, she'd probably enjoy it.
Yeah. I
But
think the year my wife played, I helped her draft. She knew a lot of the players. She watched with me on
right,
Sundays. So she was familiar with the league, but I helped her draft. I helped her kind of understand
right.
like fantasy
She
work.
probably had that same beginner's
Probably,
mentality,
yeah, probably,
quarterbacks. And,
probably come week 6 though, I was hands off. Like she had it figured out.
all
Like so
right.
that was a pretty cool year for me.
Yeah. I got to say, one cool memory. I mean, I'll make mine short. One cool memory I had was this first year I did a work league, similar to your kicker story, actually, but it was in the championship round. It did not involve me. Fortunately, I lost the weekend prior. But these guys were going into the weekend, and one of the guys was leading by like 30 points going into Monday. He had no guys left. The other guy had Justin Tucker. This was probably early 2000s,
Right.
early 2010s.
The peak of Tucker.
Yeah, young Tucker. And we go into Monday night, and he proceeded to score like 41 points. And this guy came back and convincingly won the championship. So, I mean, the excitement around fantasy football, the drama around it is what kind of gets me. And, that's just one example right there.
Right.
All right, buddy. So this one's kind of like a two-part question. How long have you been playing fantasy, first of all? And how did you even get into fantasy football?
Hold on, I gotta do math. 17 years. I
Okay.
started playing fantasy when I was 15. I'm 32 now. It's 17, right?
17 years. 17
Okay.
years.
So I've been playing for 17 years. I got into it. My dad joined with a bunch of his generation.
Right.
My whole family is really close, like all the cousins.
Right.
All that. He started. They talked him into playing, and I started by helping him. And then when I was 16, I branched out on my own. I still helped kind of navigate his team, but I branched out on my own when I was 16. So I've been on my own for 16 years.
Okay.
That's how I got into it. Was kind of navigating because you know, like 16 years ago, my dad still like everything was desktop. So trying to navigate him on showing
dial-up time.
I'm showing him how to log in. I'm showing him how to navigate the computer. Kind of show him how to we figured all those things out together.
Yeah. Totally get that. Yeah, you know, mine's probably not so much as sentimental as yours. I actually got invited to a league from a work friend. I was pretty young at the time. I didn't really know much about fantasy football. He kind of introduced me to it. I kind of think they kind of just was trying to win easy money, which they did. This was a $75 league. And I got to tell you, the first four years, I was definitely paying in. So they got their money worth. Valuable lessons for me, but
lessons learned.
Hey. Lesson learned. All right, man. I got one more question for you, and then we're going to get into our soon-to-be famous PodSquad sound off.
Okay. All right. What you got?
All right. What has been one of your favorite fantasy football team names, whether it be one that you've had or someone else that you've seen? What has it been?
My favorite one, and it's actually still the one that I use in my league that I've ran for years.
Okay.
Is growing beards and drinking beer.
Okay, yeah, the Huddle Buddies. I like that one.
Yeah,
I like that one.
That's probably the one closest to me. I generally like team names that incorporate either
the players,
the owner of the team, either like that one with me,
right,
or something that combines two interests of the owner. So, like in the Dynasty League that I've played in for years, I use the Ayatollah of Rock and Rolla.
I get it. Yeah,
incorporating bringing my love of pro wrestling into fantasy with the nod to Chris Jericho.
Right.
I like the ones that incorporate the players. A lot of them end up corny to me. Double DTDs.
Yeah.
That you use. Or no, I use that one. You use Show Me Your TDs.
Show Me Your TDs. I used that for a long time. Of course, that's probably my favorite, but I got a new favorite.
Okay.
I've seen this. I've been following this guy on TikTok, and he comes up with these names, or people send names into him. This is, player related,
Yeah.
And it's hilarious. Very witty, too. I chase brown neighbors. So if you
Chase Brown and Malik Neighbors,
I love that. If you have Chase Brown, Malik Neighbors, I actually got Chase Brown and Lad McConkey. So I changed it to I chase brown lads.
Okay, I
love it. I
got you.
Any of these funny ones, man. I'm all for it. The vulgar, the more dirtier, the more funny to me.
When the stuff came out about Zach Wilson, MILF Hunters was a big one.
Yeah.
I liked it.
course, Mark Sanchez, butt fumblers.
I
Is
use
a classic.
one that I was in last year. I had Malik Neighbors and Jalen Waddle. So I used Waddle to the Neighbors.
You should have changed it to Waddle at the Neighbors.
There you go. It would have worked.
Yeah. All right, everybody. It is that time. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I said, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's get ready for Pod Squad. Sound off, baby.
Oh, look at this. You've got
Pictures
popping up on the screen. Look at you.
All right, real quick, everybody. I'm going to copy and paste here. And everybody is invited to come join us in.
Just so everybody knows, before we get a whole slew of things going on here, I am not ignoring what is going on here. I'm also drafting. Like we say that we actually play fantasy football. We play fantasy football. I'm actively.
We play fantasy football.
That is why I'm looking away from the screen so much. Anyways, I just wanted to get that out there.
All right, guys. Pod Squad sound off is engaged. It's up to you guys to come in. We're going to start off here, Dustin. We're going to critique each other's fantasy draft from your league, the Huddle Buddies.
Okay. All right.
So we're going to start off with yours, buddy.
Okay. What you got? You got my draft?
I got your team up here. I couldn't do it. It was too much for the order. I got your team. Here's your starters.
Okay, I can tell you. I can tell you what I did.
All right.
When I took them.
Let's talk about it, and let's see what everybody else thinks about it. And I'll tell you what I think.
Okay, hold on.
Going into this draft, you told me that man, this is a pretty competitive draft. I put this together with the goal in mind of making the most competitive fantasy football league in the world.
I did. That was my goal when I assembled this league.
I don't know if this is the most competitive league in the world, but I will say from drafting in this league, this is a very competitive league.
Yes.
So won't you give us a little basis of what your way of thinking was going into this, and as it was going on, how your thought process.
Okay, where did I pick? Did I pick 6th, 7th? Where did I pick?
Yeah, you picked number 7. I picked ahead of you at number 6.
Okay, so I was sitting at 7. Justin Jefferson falls to me.
Yes.
Hit it. That was probably one of the fastest draft picks I've ever made.
And you went back with Drake London. I was surprised.
I come back in the second round with Drake London, double up on the wide receivers. I thought I could get running backs later that could service with 2 relatively dominant wide receivers.
Right, I understand.
Drake London's dominant, but I think he's going to be really good this year.
I would push the envelope with him and go ahead and say that, he's already a dominant receiver.
I also knew you were high on him, and I was 1 pick ahead of you, and I wanted to piss you off.
I was definitely cussing you out for that one.
So, Trey McBride comes back around in the 3rd. I grab him.
Yeah, dude, real quick on that one. I don't mean to cut you off, but real quick on that one. I picked right before him, and Trey McBride, Ladd McConkey and Trey McBride were there. Well, just to give you guys a reason why I didn't pick Trey McBride, because I'd already picked a tight end, Brock Bowers, in the 2nd round of the draft, trying to get the positional advantage. So I didn't have a need for McBride. The thought was there of taking him for 2 reasons. 1, to screw a good buddy over. And 2, having that positional advantage, you can play him in the flex. Plus, he's a trade chip.
Yeah.
So it was really hard for me. I ended up Lad McConkey went one pick before I went, and I ended up with Amari and Hampton, which I'm totally fine with. But let's go on. Let's go back to you.
So then Trey McBride comes back around third. I get the positional advantage. Come back in the
you
fourth.
stole that one.
Yeah, come back in the fourth. Lamar and Josh Allen are gone already at this point. So I went ahead and jumped on the train, took Jaden Daniels.
Yeah. I didn't necessarily agree with that. I'm not big on taking, QB early, but
I'm not
if you
either,
hit
but
on the right, if they hit, it works.
If you're gonna do it, I tell you, it's Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Jaden Daniels this year.
Yeah.
If you're gonna shoot,
I like
for
Jalen Hurts as well, but I could actually see a regression from him.
I would rather, when it comes to Hurts, I would rather wait later as opposed to those other three. Okay. But that's just my personal opinion. Right. Comes back around. I still don't have a running back in the fifth. I think I went Johnson. Caleb Johnson first.
Yeah. I can't remember if you took him in the fifth or
the next two.
Yeah. I think he took Pacheco and then Johnson.
Yeah, fifth and sixth was Caleb Johnson and Pacheco. I don't remember the order.
All right. And we're going to bring up your bench here as well.
The next one, seventh, I actually think I took Quinshon Junkins.
Okay, yeah.
I think.
That's right.
Waiting to see what he was going to do, and then I took McMillan for the flex.
Yeah, I thought McMillan was that's right, because you had Junkins in your flex at the time.
I'm almost positive I took first.
I thought you had two really good steals in this draft between McBride and
McMillan.
McMillan, yeah.
Yeah, I was really surprised McMillan fell. Then I come back in with Krosky Merritt. And at that point,
I'm not sure what to think about Krosky Merritt quite yet. I haven't watched enough of him, but if Washington is confident enough in him to trade Robinson Jr., then I would say that's a good bet that he's going to have a lot of touches coming his way.
That was kind of, and that's kind of my hope. We'll see if he pans out.
Right.
Then the rest of this is just filling out roster. I mean,
I like some of these guys. Like, I love Michael Pittman Jr. where you drafted him at. He's being drafted after the 100s. I love that pick. Marvin Mims. Over the last 6 or 8 games last year, he really turned it on. So I mean, overall, this was a really difficult draft. Junkins, you're going to have to wait, for a little bit. I don't know how long, but if you could get him.
Shakir is kind of one of those plays that it's like, I don't know who's going to be the top guy in Buffalo, but if it is Shakir, I think that could pan out really well.
Last year, I don't know, man. Last year, Shakir was really good, but everybody ate last year with that team.
Yeah, I know. It turned into
situation.
It turned into every week you didn't know who was. And I think people are kind of forgetting about Jake Ferguson.
What do you think you should do? Real quick, I see that you have Jake Ferguson on there, and I love Jake Ferguson. But real quick, somebody in our comments asked, what should you do with Judkins? I mean, you got Sampson.
I'm waiting. I mean, I'm just at that point. He's either my flex or he's the first off the bench. I can wait on Junkins and just to see what's going to happen. I mean, it's no different than before today. You were waiting to see what happened with Rashid Rice. Did you have a problem?
Right.
taking him not knowing. Did you have a problem?
Yeah.
Anytime any of these suspensions are kind of like up in the air, like, did you ever have a problem sitting and waiting before? Have a backup plan. Take the handcuff, go take the handcuff earlier than what their ADP is, to ensure that you've got the guy that's going to step in, or be in the position like I was, where I had two running backs already that I knew I had to start, and then take him. I wouldn't take him as my RB1.
Obviously not. Obviously not. I mean, if you can keep him stash him away on the bench. One thing that sucks about a lot of these leagues is you can't, and especially in my situation having Rice, you can't place these guys on IR. And
no,
so
you can't place the suspension
essentially on you're losing a roster spot for however many games they're suspended for.
Yeah, but I mean, how many? I would ask anybody that's asking that question: how many guys have sat on your bench all year?
True.
And whether you were waiting on the potential, whether you were waiting on, like maybe you were had them.
How many guys have we drafted late in our draft? Just to store on our bench that we
that's
2 or 3 weeks in we drop them.
Yeah, I mean, how many times you run into that?
Yeah, I do that sometimes after the draft.
Yeah, Junkins' potential is worth that to me.
Yeah. If you're not looking to get better, everybody, then you're not looking to win, in my opinion. All right, man. We're not going to do ours this week. We're running a little closer on time than what I expected, so we're going to just push on through and go on to some more of Sound Off with the next subject up. And we're going to go into Would You Rather.
Okay.
I love Would You Rather. That's one of my favorite games. I'm just going to give you a list of players, to compare them to. I'm not going to list a bunch of players, Would you rather for one player. We're just going to do this. We'll start out, which this one you and I had great debate on. James Cook or Kyron Williams? Who would you rather have on your fantasy team?
I think this is the closest one.
You and I talked about this and debated.
I think this is the closest one for me that we've done.
You had some great points.
I think it's still James Cook. So for me, I look at it in the draft. I'm sitting there. Kyron Williams is coming off 300 carries. Usually you get a regression off of coming off 300 carries. James Cook is coming off an unbelievable touchdown season that I'm expecting regression back to the mean.
Exactly.
But to me, I feel like Buffalo's going to.
Well, we lost him here. What he was getting ready to say was Buffalo's going to be in the lead. Well, here he's back, guys. Well, we'll let him.
I'm gonna lose my mind.
You're good. You were at Buffalo was gonna, and what I think you're going to say, Buffalo is going to be in the lead a lot of times.
Yeah. Buffalo's going to be. I feel like Buffalo's going to be ahead more than the Rams are going to be ahead. Which means more running the clock out. I think Josh Allen spreads the ball around, which will lead to Cook catching passes just as much as Kyron catches passes. I think just the fact that I think Buffalo's going to be in a better game script for their running back more than what the Rams are. And if Matthew Stafford goes down, they're never going to be in a good game script.
I agree with that sentiment. I agree if Matthew Stafford goes down and they don't have a viable option at quarterback, then, Kyron Williams, his efficiency was already going down last year. I agree with that sentiment. But if Matthew Stafford plays, and I have every reason to believe he will, that guy is tough as nails.
Oh yeah, 100%. But you're already coming in with back injury.
Right. And hey, I just last year I had back surgery, so I know how big of a issue back issues are. Throwing the ball is very rough, so I totally get that. Totally get that. So you make a really strong argument. I think I'm still going to take Kyron Williams, just for the simple fact that the tight end or the touchdown regression with James Cook, you take away his touchdowns. He had 17 rushing touchdowns. That's the most in his career. That's more than both his seasons combined. Both his seasons prior to that, he had 4 touchdowns. His regression is going to be huge, if you ask me. And I think with the emergence of Ray Davis, I think you're going to see Ray Davis cut into his touches this year.
Baby.
So I would have to take Kyron Williams for my guy. The volume is king. I will say this. Jarquez Rogers is very intriguing. Blake Corum, unless Kyron Williams goes down, Blake Corum is the exact same carbon copy running back. He does not scare me. Jarquez Rogers is the only one that scares me.
Yeah, and just note, I think Kyron Williams is the better running back.
That's remained to be seen. I'm not going to say go all saying that. I like James Cook. I think as we sit here, I think Kyron Williams is a better running back than James Cook. But I just like the situation that James Cook is in better. Okay. Let's move on then. Number 2, Kenneth Walker or Chuba Hubbard?
I can see the argument for Hubbard, but I think Kenneth Walker is way farther along in his career.
I think he's a more talented back, and I think I'll say he's in a little bit better situation. His quarterback, the weapons around him. I wouldn't say that the offensive line is better than Carolina. I think it's probably even right there. But, I think I would go Walker. I think if Walker stays the biggest thing with Walker is his health. If he stays healthy, Kenneth Walker is probably one of the best pure runners in the NFL.
If the health concern was not there, this would not be a debate.
Do you think if you pick Walker, do you think it's vital to pick up Charbonnet?
I think it would be pretty damn high on my priority list.
Okay.
But I cannot draft expecting an injury. I can have it in the back of my mind. I can know it's there, but at some point you can't keep knocking the guy because he might get hurt. At some point, it's the same risk as CMC. Like CMC's got the injury history. Back into the first round, early second, you can't keep passing on him because he might get hurt.
I get it. I get it. If you're not taking risk and if you're not swinging for the fences, you're going to finish outside the playoffs, middle of the road.
In the same note, you've got to take educated risk and put a plan in place, like with somebody like CMC or somebody like Kenneth Walker, like handcuffing them with the backup when there's a clear backup, which there is with both of them now. You can't take a guy that's staring down the barrel of a suspension without having an alternate plan.
Right. You see what I did with Rice?
You can't just take these guys off
DJ Moore.
You can't just take them off the board. And like I said, if the injury risk was not there, you would not be debating between Kenneth Walker and Chuba Hubbard. It would be Walker.
I don't think it would be. I totally agree with you. Walker is if he could stay healthy, I'd love to see him go for a whole season.
I would love to see what he would do in a full season.
Yeah,
100%.
I would too.
He is an absolute monster.
This next one, I think it's a lot closer than what people realize. I'm gonna let you. I know who my guy is.
Okay.
But it's a lot closer.
Okay.
Drake London or BTJ, Brian Thomas Jr. Who would you rather have?
Well, I think we're going to agree on this one because I think I would rather have Drake London.
Yeah, I think I can see the case for Brian Thomas Jr.
I can too, and I think Brian Thomas Jr. is a beast. And as much as I don't think playing both ways is going to work, we still
think
don't
Hunter's
know what
cut
Travis
into some of his
Hunter's
touches. And we don't know how that offense is going to look down there in Jacksonville.
No, and we know what it's going to look like in Atlanta. We know that Penix looked really well as far as with Drake London at the end of last year.
And we know what competition Drake London has for targets.
He's going to be the number one guy.
Whatsoever.
Yeah, he's going to be the number one guy.
Agree.
We know this. You don't know Brian Thomas Jr. is going to be the number one guy. I think he is.
I'm pretty sure he's the number one guy, and I got a guest coming on here in a couple of weeks who would probably say that he would disagree with us. He's definitely a big Jacksonville fan, but I don't hate his assessment of Brian Thomas Jr. I think Brian Thomas is definitely a wide receiver one. Where he's being drafted at kind of scares me, though.
But regardless of, like I said, I don't think this is going to work with Travis Hunter playing both ways. Jacksonville still invested the number 2 pick in him. I think this is going to be an issue this year with Brian Thomas Jr. Because they still invested the number 2 pick. I think they're going to try every way in the world to make Travis Hunter work.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. All right, well, let's move on. This one's a really good one, too. Both of these guys are breakout candidates.
Hey, hold on. I'm drafting. Caleb Williams and Drake May.
Ooh, I like Drake May's upside, but I don't know. We're about ready to do that. I think Drake May.
Okay.
Shit.
All right. Move on.
All right. Actually, that brings us up. Caleb Williams or Drake May.
Son of a bitch. Well, I just listened to you, and I took Drake May. I think I would prefer – I think I agree. I think I would prefer Drake May. I can make the argument for Caleb Williams. I think I would prefer Drake May because I think Drake May is going to run the ball and pass the ball, which Caleb Williams has the ability, but I don't know how much he's going to actually do it.
I think Ben Johnson is going to want him to get the ball out quick, so that's going to eliminate some of that ad-lib plays.
I like Chicago's weapons better than I do New England's. However, I like kind of the stability. Caleb Williams is very much way up here and then way down here, even throughout a game, let alone throughout a whole season. I think Caleb is going to be very much hit and miss. He's going to be very boom or bust.
Yeah, I can see that.
And I think Drake May is going to give you more consistency.
I can see that.
And if you're at that point in your draft taking your quarterback, I think you at least have to have consistency. I don't want to be the last guy to take a quarterback and still be boom or bust. If I'm going to be the last guy, I want consistency.
No, I agree. All right. Next one up here with the one I was going to get with Ricky Pearsall or Keon Coleman. Both of these guys have breakout potential. Which one do you think you're going with?
You know who I'm going with.
Obviously, you want Ricky Pearsall.
It's Ricky Pearsall, man. I'm all over this. Like,
yeah, I'm not going to disagree with you. I like Keon Coleman. I think Keon Coleman is going to be the guy there with Buffalo. I think he's going to be that number one guy, but
you don't know that though. He spreads it out way too much. Like, and now
I still think he's going to. Well, that's the problem with me. I don't think he'll be like, going to be like a huge thing. Like, I think he could be like a 18% share and still be like their leading receiver.
I mean, he could be, but Debo's gone. Brandon Ayuk is hurt.
No, I'm talking about Keon Coleman.
But George Kittle, I'm talking about.
Oh yeah,
Pearsall. You got all those two wide receivers are out of the equation. George Kittle's not going to be a 50 target guy fucking every week. Like, I know it's an exaggerated number, but like he
is.
George Kittle's the only competition he's got for targets.
Yeah, I agree. All right, I'm not disagreeing with you on that one, but all right, I'm gonna give you one more, and then we're gonna move on to something else. And
we got.
All right, Tyler Warren or Colston Loveland. We know Daniel Jones is going to be the quarterback with the Colts. Colston Loveland's going into a situation where what the tight end looked like under Detroit and under Jared Goff as quarterback. What's that tight end going to look like in Chicago?
So I guess you're going with Loveland?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just asking you. Okay. Which one would you
For me, it's Tyler Warren. I think Tyler Warren is a generational talent. I think the Daniel Jones situation actually helps Tyler Warren.
Yeah.
I think you're going to be dropped there, check downs, and it's going to be a whole lot more looking at the tight end. I don't like the fact that Colston Loveland has a lot of competitions for targets as opposed to Tyler Warren, who, Josh Downs could break out this year, maybe, but we don't know. Michael Pittman's going to get some targets, but there's a lot of mouths to feed in Chicago.
I still think Colston Loveland. I agree there are a lot of mouths to feed in Chicago, but I think Colston Loveland showed that he's a transcendent talent. And seeing what Sam Laporta did 2 years ago as a rookie, finishing as the tight end one. I see no reason why Colston Loveland couldn't be in that top three, maybe even that number one conversation.
I think it's potential, but I think it's harder for me to see the path.
All right.
There than it is for Tyler Warren.
All right. I disagree with you, but that's okay. All right, we're going to get into a couple other things, and then we're going to get the heck out of here, guys. We're already running longer than what I really wanted to, but we should have known. This is
3 times.
This is what we do. This is what we do, guys. We get off track, and this time we're not even getting off track. We're actually talking about irrelevant shit. So, if you guys are having a good time, we're having a good time.
Give me time.
All right, buddy. Give me one player that you are hitching your wagon to, that you're planting your flag on. And I'm going to give you, not only am I going to give you my player, but I'm going to give you one player from our PodSquad community.
Okay, are you going first or am I?
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll give you, the first one I'll give you is from our PodSquad community, PodSquad member James, and his guy is Emeka Ibuka.
Okay.
I love that. I love that.
I can see it. I think you're probably going to take week 5 or 6 before you really see dividends of it.
But this guy's being drafted after 100.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
I can 100% see see.
I love it.
I can 100% see it hitching your wagon. Where the ADP is and the value he's going to return, I think is going to be fantastic.
All right. I'm going to give you my guy now.
Okay.
Ladd McConkey.
Yeah. You're all
I mean,
over.
I mean, I know he's got a little bit of competition for targets out there. I like the kid Trey Harris from Ole Miss. He got him in the second round, so he's got high pedigree. I know they brought back what's his name? Crap.
Oh, Keenan Allen.
Who was it they brought back?
Keenan Allen.
Yeah, Keenan Allen. They brought back Keenan Allen. I don't think he's gonna be a real threat to targets for Ladd. I think Ladd's still that guy. But I do think, he's more of a veteran presence, leadership type thing. So I think Ladd McConkey's, just last year was scratching the surface. I think this kid could be a Triple Crown candidate down the road.
Yeah, I mean, you ain't gonna get no argument over here. I like him.
All right, bud. Who's your guy you're hitching your wagon to?
Well, JSN is the guy I've got the most confidence in.
Okay.
Coming into this, I'd have probably said Ricky Pearsall, but I just did an 18 draft and I didn't take him. It never come down to that point. So,
all right.
JSN, any league, size, the scoring relevancy, whatever, it doesn't matter for me. It's JSN.
I like JSN.
I mean, I think this guy, I think he's a stud. I think he's getting an improvement at quarterback. I think the sky's the limit. I think JSN can finish top 10 in wide receivers. I think that's your next breakout guy for me. If it's not Ladd McConkey, I think it's JSN. And I think you can get JSN as your third wide receiver. Even if
you can get him as your third wide receiver, I think you're getting a steal right there because just about every draft.
I've seen even in 10-team leagues, you can get JSN as your third wide receiver.
Yeah,
which is absolutely
12-team leagues. You're not going to get him as a 3.
No, 12-team leagues, you're probably not going to get him as your third, unless you're running back heavy drafts and you're just absolutely punting running back. You're not getting him in 12-team leagues. But 10-team leagues, you can go wide receiver, running back, and still get JSN as the flex. Like, it's still a possibility.
Yeah, agreed. And a 10-team league, some people have been passing on him. There's been players that we've done drafts so far, and there's players that I've been dumbfounded on. I mean, Justin Jefferson. Don't get me wrong. Justin Jefferson only fell to you to 7 because I didn't take him. But that's only because I wanted to screw you over and take your favorite player, CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah. I mean, I could see the debate. I think these wide receivers need to go. I can see Bijan and Gibbs getting thrown in the mix, but there's no reason that the top 5 of your draft shouldn't read Bijan Robinson, Jamar Gibbs, Gibbs.
Chase Robinson Gibbs.
Yeah. Chase Robinson Gibbs, Jefferson Lamb.
Yeah. I agree.
I don't care what pick you take them in, but that should be the first 5 guys off the board.
I agree. And it's just crazy. I know there was another league we did where Puka Nacua fell to you in the second round, second round.
Yeah.
And I bet you couldn't hit that draft button quick enough.
Hit it quick as shit, boy.
All right. We're gonna do one more little thing, and then we're gonna get out of here. We got 3 hot takes. One of them is a hot take for myself. One of them is your hot take, And the other one I pulled from our Pod Squad community, and it is from none other than the dog face himself, Raider J.
Okay. All right. What's
All
Raider
right.
J got?
Well, we're going to give his hot take. And I don't necessarily disagree with it, but I'm not 100% confident on it. I guess that's why it's a hot take. Kyle Pitts finally breaks out and finishes as a top 3 tight end. Now, I like Kyle Pitts, and he has shown that he has the physical talent to be a top 3 tight end without a doubt. But my 2 problems is, one, he has yet to stay healthy for a whole season other than his rookie year. 2, they just don't utilize their tight end down there in Atlanta like they did.
I'm at the point with Pitts, I got to see it to believe it, which, again,
I agree.
That's what qualifies as a hot take. Like,
I agree. I mean, that is a hot take, and I'll tell you what, that one's just too hot for me to be touching right now.
Yeah, I mean, you're right, though. He's got the physical tools. He's not finishing ahead of Bowers. He's not finishing ahead of McBride.
No.
The 3rd spot is open, though, if somebody wants to jump up.
He could overtake Kittle. I love Kittle, but he is a little injury prone. And I'm not against it. He is getting up there in age as well. I'm not against taking him. Matter of fact, I took him in the 3rd round just because I like to get that, tight end positional value. And ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking for a positional value, take the tight end, because quarterbacks, there are a lot of quarterbacks to draft if you're in a 1 quarterback league. Yeah. Take the tight end. I promise you. Take both. Take both.
Yeah. I mean, I've adapted that motto.
Yeah. All right. Well, do you want me to read your hot take that you took, or you want?
Yeah, I don't remember what I flew off the mouth at. I'll explain.
All right. Now this, ladies and gentlemen, is one that I pulled from social media as well. It just happened to be from Mr. Bluegrass Beard himself. Not only is he a co-host extraordinaire and TikTok famous, he's also a part of the Pod Squad community.
I am a member.
So your hot take is, to me, it's a warm take, but it's not super hot. Devontae Smith finishes as a top 10 wide receiver.
I do remember saying that. Yes.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, he definitely has the pedigree and the talent. I do think it gets a little hotter if A.J. Brown stays healthy the whole season. And if they utilize Barkley in the pass game, which I think they will, because I just don't see them putting that much of a workload back on Barkley again.
I couldn't imagine, but you're talking about low volume offense or low volume passing offense. An aging A.J. Brown, an injury risk at A.J. Brown. But you're also looking at, what is this, year 4 for Smith?
Year 4 for Smith. Barkley coming off an insurmountable amount of touches last year. So you got to think they're going to pass the ball more.
Yeah. So how hard is it to see that year 4 Devontae Smith overtakes year 8 or 9 A.J. Brown? Yep. A.J. Brown's pushing 30. Let's not forget.
Agreed.
I mean, I like you said, I think it's lukewarm, but I think your other hot take that I would have is, after last year, I don't know how hot it is, but Travis Kelce and Mark Andrews are done. I still see them going as the 5th, 4th, 6th tight end off the board. I ain't touching them guys with a 10-foot pole. Okay.
Real quick, we'll jump back. I didn't ask this one during Would You Rather, but I'm going to ask it real quick. Would you rather have Njoku or Kelsey?
Njoku. Not
I
even.
agree.
I ain't thinking about it. It's
Agreed.
Njoku.
Agreed. All right. Well, I'm going to give you. I actually got two hot takes, but I'm going to give you my first one, and then this one's just a little honorable mention. The first one is Michael Penix, J.J. McCarthy, and Caleb Williams all finish as top 10 fantasy quarterbacks this year.
Well, eventually these younger guys are going to have to. Eventually, they're going to have to be the top 10 guys, or the league's going to be dead because the quarterbacks ain't happening.
I'll say this. I mean, there's no if J.J. McCarthy is going to be good, it's going to be good with this team.
I love J.J. McCarthy.
I like his situation. I hate him because he's a Michigan guy. But if I'm truly being unbiased, yeah, I love his situation. Michael Penix, I love what he did late with last year, and I love that what chemistry he had with London, and plus he had a whole offseason practicing with the first team, getting first team reps. So he's only going to get better.
The only thing that worries me about any of these, I like the second year quarterback really scares me a lot of the times. Jaden Daniels, it even worries me with Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
It really does, because now these defensive coordinators, who, let's not forget, are the best defensive minds in the world, have a whole year of film on you.
That's correct.
Are you going to make the adjustments that they're coming for? They're going to come with adjustments, or are you going to come back with the answers?
There's some quarterbacks that make that. I'm really intrigued to see all these second year quarterbacks, to see what they do. The guys like Bo Nix.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of pressure right now. I do think Bo Nix having Sean Payton in his corner is really a big weapon for him to help him navigate this slump.
Yeah.
If he does have one.
Yeah.
And, all these other guys, Penix, I wouldn't necessarily call, last year really wasn't, he didn't get to play a lot. So, I wouldn't call this really his second year.
Yeah, it's not going to be as big of a.
And JJ's a rookie, you might as well say.
Yeah. He looked really good. And he looked really good from what we've seen last year.
He did look really good. I'm really excited to see all of these second year quarterbacks. All right, my last little hot take here, and then we're gonna get out of here and cut you all loose. Jordan Mason leads the NFL in rushing touchdowns in 2025.
You're fucking insane.
No, write this down. Jordan Mason. Why CMC was
You made fun of Jay for saying Pitts is going to be a top 3 tight end, then you come back with some bullshit like that? You've lost your damn mind.
That's why it's hot, baby. That's why it's hot. But you heard it here first.
Hot to touch. Ain't nobody touching that hot take, all right?
You've heard it here first, folks. Tune in back in week 18, and we will.
That's third degree fucking burns if you touch that hot take.
Got to go big or go home, baby. Got to go
big
or
go
home.
No, I know, Jay. You lost your mind. Just go on home.
I love it. The boys are back.
Oh, shit. You keep coming up with, I don't even know if I can associate my name with takes like that. Jesus.
That's why I'm the guru. That's why.
We'll see. I'll take whatever bets you will put on that one.
We got, you heard it here first, folks. We got a 6-pack bet.
You're on. You're on.
All right. All right, guys, that's pretty much we're done. We're at the end of the show. Beard, you got anything to say?
Nah, appreciate you having me in here. I want to do as many of these as I can do. We've talked about it. It's just, I mean, I've got a daughter in competition gymnastics.
Yeah.
I have to take call for work. Like,
Hopefully everybody that's watching understands that, life gets in the way. And sometimes scheduling conflicts happen. And, that ended up being the demise of our show, the Cheap Seats Podcast. But I do think something good came out of it. So, hopefully we can bring it back sometime real soon. And, to keep this ball rolling.
Yeah, I would love. I really hope this takes off, and I really hope this works. Obviously, we don't do this for a living.
Yeah,
we both have jobs, and that was the fact that I have to take a call for a week was the biggest demise for my job. So hopefully, I can do as many of these as we can do, but hopefully, we've got a whole community worth of people that can come on here and add value to this.
Yeah, and real quick to the Pod Squad community, to anybody out there watching, hopefully it went in the comments. I put the link. Come on and join us during sound off, guys. That's what it's for. This is your guys' show. We want to hear from you.
Join us on all the platforms. Like you said, not only are we hosting this show this week and for many weeks to come, but, this is a whole community worth of, advice. Come in there and put your drafts on there. Let's talk about roster assembling. Let's talk about how to pivot when injuries happen. Come in there, get the advice from as many people and take what you want out of it. It's this page, we can start this page and we can post as many things as we want, but it doesn't work without a community. Like, come in and be a part of it. Let's make this happen. Like, no, like we discussed, no other show does this.
This show is, that's why I came up. That's why I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be a credit hog here. That's why we came up with this show, because we wanted something where it was for all of us. And this, to me, is for all of us. But if we don't have the fan interaction and we don't have people coming on, this show does not work. So, guys, please, next week, don't be afraid. If you don't even want to show your face, we can do it without your face. You can do it like a phone, almost like a phone call, where you just hear your voice on the show. Come on. Thank you guys who did come in on and with the comments. We really appreciate it. We appreciate you guys joining with us. We want to hear more from you. So until next week, Dustin, if there ain't nothing else, buddy, it was good seeing you, and I was glad to have you back for this first episode. Felt just right, buddy.
I'm good. Appreciate you.
All right. Thanks. We're going to let you off of here, buddy. Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of our show. We hope to have you here next week. One last quick thing. Again, I want to thank Jared Fatty Bates, the 216 Network, and everybody who has contributed to this show to make this happen. So tune again next week, Wednesday at 7 p.m., guys. I'm the big man, and this has been an episode of FF Pod Squad. And last thing, it's nothing personal. It's a fantasy thing.
Come join us next week and get in on the fun. Find us on Facebook at Fantasy Football Pod Squad, the group page, to be part of the show. And follow us on X at Squad1 at FF Pod Squad. Like us and follow us on TikTok at FF Pod Squad 1. Until next week, remember, nothing personal, It's a fantasy thing.